I'm sitting here trying to figure out why there's not enough news on what Lyft and Uber just did that's going to shake the foundation of the gig economy. If you guys didn't hear the news, Lyft and Uber are now paying $33 and change per hour, guaranteed, like literally signed into law. And there's a couple things that are also included in that. You get sick time, you get a couple other benefits. I myself have not fully looked into it, but I'm just finding all this information out now. What is it? It's the 20th of January right now. And this was signed into law January 1st of this year. So you're telling me that if I drive for Uber and Lyft and I drive, right? I'm driving like normal, I can get a guaranteed 33 an hour? That's crazy. All right, so I'm thinking that and I'm liking it, but there's a couple things that if you're not in the situation, you need to know these specifics. So from what I know, you only get paid on that for the times that you have an active ride. So let's say you drive 10 hours in a day, right? Well, there's only going to be about 8 to 9 hours that you actually had a passenger in that car. There's going to be 3 to 5 minutes here and there that you might not have a ride request or anything like that. But as long as you're providing services on the platform, you're going to get paid. And the reason why I say that's going to change the gig economy, like all gig platforms, is because a lot of these other companies, if I've been doing gig work since 2015, on and off, part-time, full-time, I've done it all. And I've noticed different patterns when it comes to different companies. They like to stay in the competition with themselves, right? For example, if there's one company that specializes in something, like let's say WWE, they're the only wrestling company, the product's going to start to become stale, right? It's the same thing with gig work. But now you introduce another company like AEW into the wrestling mix, and out of nowhere, the WWE starts to perform a lot better. That's what Uber and Lyft have been doing with each other, is competition breeds creativity, right? They try to come up with new ways to attract more drivers to drive on their platform. Same thing with the customer base. They want to be the best version of what that service is, so that they can get the majority of the market share. But for years, I don't even know how long, 10 plus years, Uber and Lyft have been in constant competition with each other. There's been other small companies that are like on the come up, but from what I've seen, it's those two, just head to head, bang, bang, bang. Same thing with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. Those three have been bang, 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 just competing against each other, rolling out new features, especially DoorDash, rolling out new features to try to stay ahead of everybody so that they can be the best version of what that service is. Another one that's competing against each other is Instacart and Shipped. Those two are also just clanging and banging, just trying to be the best version of what they offer. So with Lyft and Uber offering this 33 an hour guaranteed, which is it's legit law. It's law now. So they're trying to, I can see what they're trying to do, because I know in the last 2 years, I think this whole thing has been going on for the last 2 years, and they've been lobbying to kind of get treated more like employees, and like there's a lot of back and forth with it. I don't think it should be like an employee thing, because it's like, if you do that, then you have to go in at a certain time. And the whole point of all this gig work is that it's not meant to be a full-time job. It's not meant to be a job. Like, it's meant to be just a side thing, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Now, I have done some of these apps full-time. I'm actually going to be doing it full-time for roughly a month or so, about 2 weeks from now. So I'll update you guys on what I'm doing there. But last year around this time, I was doing Lyft part-time. I cut down on my hours at my job, and I tried to do, I consider part-time like 6 to 8 hours, even though that's technically full-time. But I was working part-time last year around this time, I'd work 7 to 12, so 5 hours at my regular job, and then from 12:30 up until like 6 or 7, I do Lyft just the whole entire time. And I was going down to the Boston area, and I was getting a good amount of money. So this whole thing would have helped out back then, because very rarely, if I stayed in my area, if I didn't go out to Boston, if I stayed out in my area, um, I wouldn't have made as much as if I were in Boston. So what this 33 an hour thing does, it incentivizes people to, one, take the crappy rides that are like $3-4. Like, now people are going to be more willing to take those rides, because I think by giving drivers a choice, which they should have, by giving drivers a choice on which rides they can and cannot take, there's some rides that are either not worth it, in a bad area, and a couple other factors that just, I personally have declined rides if it's going into certain directions, or if it's going out of the way, or like anything like that. Now it's like worth it to take all those rides, because now you're guaranteed a minimum of $33 an hour, which is better than what most jobs are paying out here. So they're going to be bringing in even more people from the workforce to join these app platforms. Now I can see we're not even a month into this new whole thing, and I can see a lot of new things coming up where they're going to be bringing back possible rental programs. I remember it used to be really good if you did, it was an insane amount of rides, but if you did, I think it was like 150 rides a week, you can rent a car for $30. I think it was like $39, which is insane for the whole week, but you have to do 150 rides. If you don't, it falls under a different category where it's like it comes out to 70. Even then, that's still a good price for a rental, because a lot of rentals nowadays are at least minimum $70-80 a day, and then you tack on the fees and all that. But to get a car for $40 a week is insane. So I really hope Lyft does bring that back, because that would be dope. That would be super sick. Like, if you're aware about the whole mileage thing, and depreciation and wear and tear on your vehicle, if you're aware of that, then you want to possibly rent a car. It might be worth it to rent a car. And especially if these apps have partnerships with these rental companies, even better. I think the deals are so good. This is, I think I'm talking about 2016, 2017, where this rental, the first version of the rental program was on the Lyft platform, where, again, if you did 150 plus rides, you can get that rental for $40, right? I think it starts at 300, and then the more rides you do, you lower the price, and it just comes out of your earnings. And then you'd also be responsible for gas and all that. So it'd come out to like 80, maybe 100, maybe a little more for the whole week. And you're not putting no wear and tear on your vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, you can do it that way as well. Like, you save a lot of money. But right now, I think the last time I checked on the rentals, it's normal price. So like, I can go to any random rental out there that's not partnered with these platforms and still pay roughly the same. Now, again, I haven't checked it this month. I did check it around 2 months ago just to see, because I didn't want to drive around in my personal car anymore, just because, if anything were to happen, I don't want any vomit or anything in the back. Knock on wood that I don't have any wood in here, but paper works, right? Knock on wood. But yeah, guys, this whole 33 an hour thing is just going to completely change the game. You're going to see a lot of platforms like Instacart, DoorDash. I think DoorDash is actually doing it right now, but they're guaranteeing you $15 an hour. That's a minimum wage here in Massachusetts, I think. $15 an hour. Like, come on. I can see a lot of other gigs, gig apps doing that same thing. I'd have to do, I know it's just the driving apps, so it's Uber and Lyft that are the main ones affected. But if this were to affect the other platforms, a lot of these jobs will be pressured into raising the wage that they're paying at. Like, I'm looking at all these stores right now, Dollar Tree, CVS, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, like they're gonna start raising their wages because a lot of these people, if they have vehicles and they have a means to make more money on their own time, they're gonna take that. 33 an hour, like, as you guys, if you guys seen my videos, you guys know I'm working on a degree, my cybersecurity degree, and I hope to be hitting 35, 40, 45 an hour, the more skills that I attain throughout my cybersecurity journey. But if I'm not doing that, or if I get another job and it's not even paying close to that, like, I honestly want to, I'd rather be doing the driving. The only thing is that the reason why I say these gigs are just meant to be like part-time or like a gig, you just got to treat it like a gig, is because it's just very roller coastery, if that's even a word. It's very wish-washy. You never know what days are going to be super busy, what days are going to be super slow, unless it's like a holiday, right? So if it's a shopping app, Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, like Christmas time especially is the best time period to do those shopping apps. So I'm talking Instacart, Shipped, Spark. All those are really, really good. Everyone's in a giving spirit. Everyone's in a really good mood for the most part, and just the payouts are a lot better. And if it's snowing, even more. There's gonna be less drivers on the road, and you're gonna get access to a lot more better orders, right? So I can easily see the law that's affecting Uber and Lyft to take place on Shipped, Instacart, DoorDash, Grubhub, all these other gig apps. There's hundreds of them out there now. They're definitely going to be slightly affected by this because it's a competition thing, right? I'm on all these platforms. I haven't drove for Uber yet, but I like how Uber is very flexible, where I actually opened it up the other day, and I didn't know this, but they have courier, which, if you didn't know, being a courier of any type, crazy money. Especially if you do it on your own or you join a job board. Look up the courier business. You can do it in your vehicle. If you have a minivan, or if you have a cargo van, Sprinter van, they have courier jobs for all those. But that's a topic for another video. But Uber has a lot of these other gigs that you can do on their platform. I think Lyft is gonna start catching up on that, but Uber has Uber Eats. They have courier, where you could be a courier for like packages and a couple other things if you wanted like an item. There's a bunch of different things on there, but I can see Lyft, seeing that Uber's doing all these gigs that they're offering. Now Lyft is gonna start offering stuff like that, right? And again, competition breeds creativity, right? Uber's over here doing all these different gigs. Lyft is definitely going to be right behind, right there. They're going to try to be as competitive as possible, right? But like I said, guys, I don't know why I'm not seeing any more content on this 33 an hour thing. At least that's how it is here in Massachusetts. I've yet to check in New Hampshire if it's the same. I wonder if it varies state by state. If you guys know, comment below. What's the, if you Google it, it should tell you for your specific state. But for Massachusetts, I think it was $33.43. That's really freaking good. Especially to be vibing out in your car, to be listening to your own music, to be doing all that, right? On your own time. Come on. You cannot beat that, right? And then if you're in between jobs, like, this is going to make it so much easier for people to just make ends meet, survive. Because we all know the price of everything is just going up like crazy, right? Like freaking groceries. Every time I get groceries, I go every day. I'm a little different. I don't like to do groceries once a week. I hate freezing meat. I don't like putting chicken or steak in the freezer because I hate thawing things out. So every time I get groceries, it's always the same day. So it does get a little annoying, like if traffic or whatever, but I've done it for so long that it's just, I know the times, or I'm familiar with the times when it's super busy, crazy traffic, whatever. And I usually only spend 5 minutes at the market. Like, I literally go in there and I know what I'm going to get. It's never an issue, right? But I'm getting a little off topic. But guys, if you guys want to check that out, type that in Google. See what is the guaranteed pay for Uber and Lyft in your state. Check that out. And then come back to this video and let us know what you found. Let everyone know what you found. Because right now in Massachusetts, it's $33 and I believe 48 cents. It could be a couple cents off, but just the fact that like every time I drove last year, right? Because I drove for, I think I was doing every weekend for like, I don't know, 7 months. But every time I drove, I would strive to at least hit 30 to 35 an hour. There was times where it'd go as low as 15, 20 an hour, especially if I stayed in my area up here. But you're telling me now that I can drive in my own area, and it's incentivizing me to drive in my own area and to just pick up rides. That's crazy. And then, like, since it's a little bit less busy up here where I live, I'm by the North Shore area in Mass, and a lot of the rides, you know, I'll go to one town, a couple towns over, but it's very slow compared if I went directly to Boston. So if you live near your state capital or where it's usually busy in your state, you're bound to be, you're literally good to go, right? And remember, it's only when you are active on the Lyft platform. So yes, you can have it on, but as long as you have a ride in progress, so like let's say you're on the way to a customer or a passenger, or you're dropping them off, whatever, all that time that accumulates, it adds up, right? You're getting that guaranteed hourly, and if you make less than the guaranteed hourly, they're gonna pay you the difference. Instacart used to do something like that, where they'd have a promo where it's like, if you make less than this much, we'll cover the rest of it, right? Or if you do, it used to be like if you do 15 orders on Instacart, they would guarantee you, it was very low. It was like $250 or $300. But if you made that, if you did all that, you were guaranteed that much. And anything after that, you get to keep all of it. So it's good to see that Uber and Lyft are like following that, which is dope. And then like on top of that, they're allowing sick time. Like that right there is a game changer. No app will do that on their own. So that's how you know, like, the state or the government actually got into everything and was able to kind of compensate the gig workers fairly, because everyone knows, man, like a lot of these gigs, there's certain apps that are just like for me, it's DoorDash. In my area, it's so trash. It's bad. It's really bad. When I opened the app one time, this was months ago, when I opened the app and I saw a $2.50 order, I'm like, all right, they're getting disrespectful with this. Like, I'm going to go get dressed, start my car, especially if it's cold outside. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. I'm going to get ready, do all this for a $2.50 order. That's probably going to take 10, 15 minutes. And then even worse, if you're going to a store that makes you wait, like a place like Five Guys or Chipotle sometimes, where with Five Guys, they don't throw the fries down until you get there, which is understandable. You know, the customer is going to get fresh food, right? Like literally fresh food. But you're telling me that an order is going to be $2.50 and someone's going to be willing to take that? I don't think so. No. So it's good to see that the 33 an hour thing is a thing now. You know, these gig apps, they're making so much money and we're the ones doing the work. You know, Uber and Lyft are the biggest rideshare company and they own no vehicles. As of right now, I know they're working on in Cali specifically, they're working on self-driving vehicles, but they're literally the biggest rideshare company, bigger than any of these companies, these taxi companies in the United States. And they own 0 vehicles. We're literally their workforce, guys, right? And I say where because I used to drive for Lyft and I might get back into it. I'm not going to lie. I got this big ass dent on my car that I do have to get fixed. I just got it priced. I thought it was going to be a lot more. So I actually might get that fixed sooner than later. But yeah, like just to be fairly compensated for something like that. Now, again, it's not a lot of skill. You are like, it's tough saying this, but something like these gigs, like, again, they're not meant to be a full-time job. They're very easy to do. It's just annoying to do. You're literally saving someone else time by doing these, but you're also getting paid. And a lot of these companies over the years, they've gotten away with paying very, very low. So it's so good to see that now, like, they're paying that. They're giving sick time. They're probably doing a bunch of other things that I haven't even taken note of. But I just wanted to make this video so you guys know what's out there. Right now, Lyft and Uber are crazy hot right now. They're paying a lot of money. Like, I feel like right now, with social media booming, with the gig economy booming right now, a lot of things are going up in price, but also there's a lot of opportunity to win out there, right? So this video is just to highlight that, guys. Go out there, see what it is. Again, go in Google, type in what is the guaranteed hourly rate in my state for Uber and Lyft, and then it'll tell you. Or if you even go to ChatGPT, it might give you even more information, more thorough information. But keep in mind, ChatGPT is not connected directly to the internet. It's a couple months behind, I think, depending on what version that you're using. But anyways, I don't want this video to run too long. I just want to come in here and let you guys know. Just jump on Uber or Lyft. I'm going to be putting my my link down below. Right now, I don't drive for Uber, but for Lyft, I'll be putting my referral code down there. If you guys don't drive, definitely consider doing it because, hey, there's serious money to be made now. Like, that's a game-changing law that just came into play of January 1st of 2025. So if you guys don't know, now you know. Until then, I'm going to be, there should be a video that's recommending, hopefully my video, that YouTube thinks you will like. So until then, I'll see you guys next time, guys. Have a good one.